Hello everyone and welcome back to 4-Digit World Cup 2026. This time heading into yet another interesting group stage match. Yesterday we have seen Estonia pull off a great effort, great performance and great upset against Hong Kong being the higher seed over them. And now Seed 40 Estonia is looking for yet another potential win against Malaysia, which could lead them into progressing to the bracket stage of this tournament, with them needing to place top 2 in the group stage. And now they have match won against the Hong Kong yesterday, and I believe 2 matches won could be more than enough for them to qualify at least from the second place. But that's way too soon to say, because the match did not even start yet. We are waiting for players to get back from their toilet breaks, and we should be rolling slowly but surely, seeing what the bans and picks on this map will be. We have not seen Malaysia play just yet compared to have not seen Malaysia play just yet compared to Estonia, as they are still not in a single match. We will see a match. We were supposed to see a match yesterday, 12 UTC, but that didn't happen in Singapore. And as of now, we are waiting for players to get in lobby, get started. I'm interested if we will see the same bans, the same picks coming in from Estonia, as we have seen yesterday. They did go with a hidden 2 ban and then double time 2 bans, so one of the reading maps, one of the tapping maps. And as of now, we are still waiting a bit. Estonia, even though in qualifiers it looked like a solo showdown of Evil Gamings, is looking pretty consistent, pretty strong on this, let's say, lower SR map, even though some might it's a bit of a different map compared to qualifiers. And with that said, we are heading into the rolls finally, with Evil Gamings rolling 23 against Mabayu's 33 points. So Malaysia will get to choose the order. They either opt for a first ban, second pick, or second ban, first pick. They will opt for second ban, first pick, which is an interesting threat. We usually see players going for first ban in 2 bans, but that's their opt choice. Hidden 2 ban coming in from Estonia, so no change there. They will opt for the ban they went for the last time. And now we wait for 2 bans coming in from Malaysia. Based off qualifiers, there's not too much they lack of on outside of potentially Hard Rock, which is the only skill set that Estonia performed better on, and then those Alti, Nomo 3, Hidden 3, HR 3 technically slots. They will opt for HR2 ban, which makes sense. We have seen Estonia play that last match and they did pretty well on it. Won the last point on that, and double time 3s Quabble Up. So another map that Estonia did play in the previous match and did pretty well on. No surprise there whatsoever. They did the research and they are making sure they don't choke points against Estonia, which is on paper the lower seed here. But we have seen the match yesterday and we know that surprises may happen. Estonia, even though being the last seed to qualify into the tournament group stage, is performing insanely well on this pool. And we see no more 2 bans, so Jashin going out. It's not gonna be the same as last time, I believe. They banned DT2 last time. This time it's normal 2, and they did play that one before. They did lose the point with 1.86 million team score, so that does make sense, and also based off qualifiers where Team Malaysia definitely did perform much better on that normal 2. Seed 11 overall with 2.7 mil team score. DT1 was also pretty good for them with seed 8. DT2 with seed 12. So those tapping picks might be scary. Normal 1 also number 10, but normal 1 is so-called 50-50 gamble map for both teams, especially on this lower SR pool. And the map is pretty fun to play. It's pretty difficult to single tap, at least in this map pool, with its 238 beats per minute. But it's too soon to decide on the first map, because the first pick is gonna go to Malaysia. And looking at the stats, it's gonna be the double time 2, which makes absolutely perfect sense, because they did perform incredibly well on that in qualifiers. We have seen double time 2 ban from Estonia last match, so no surprises there for the first pick. And this map doesn't give you too much of a special thing. It's a double time 2 tapping control, tapping heavy map by Sun. Eya no Mukui. And yeah, DT2 tapping heavy, definitely looking for the weaker side of Estonia's roster. And last time we have seen a tapping map picked against Estonia, their main carry Evil Gamings was out of the lobby. So a good question is, will we see that happen again? Will we see the roster of what we've seen on Nomo 2, so Sleeping Kukiji, Mega Hello Kalat, and Hustle in for this DT2, or will we see something a bit different? We see Unsent in lobby, which we did not see on Nomo 2, but maybe some switches are happening. We see Mega Hello Kalat and Sleeping Kukiji. So outside of Hustle, there is no other change on this DT2 tapping map. For Team Malaysia, we only see Chiyu in for now. And compared to what they did in qualifiers, they went for a bit of a different roster, I believe. But that's their choice, not ours. See Chiyu, Mabayu, Soyorin in, but Minbreeze gets in as well. And last time on DT2 we have seen Mabayu, Minbreeze, the two that are in the lobby together with Stumple, who also joins the lobby, and Akagak, which is gonna get switched by Soyorin on this double time too. So we see a switch up compared to, let's say, previous or last play tapping maps for both teams. And I believe that should be the final four for both teams as we head into the first map of this match, and that's gonna be the double time 2. Let's see if Malaysia can evaluate on their first pick. Let's see if Malaysia can take this comfortably, since on paper they should have a pretty good advantage on this tapping type of map. And Breeze trading with Sleepy Kiji and Mega Hello early into the map. The map is not too long. It is around 2 minutes and 6 seconds of drain time after double time, so there's not much you can afford to miss on, as your combo is going to be really important. But we see a lot of trading happening here and there. Soyorin with Stump Hole trading with Unsent and Mega Hello bit by bit every now and then. Outside of that, we see we see 2 full combos on the board with Mabayu and Evil Gamings, and 2 really good supports on Minbreeze and Sleeping Kukiji, the 2 players that did trade at the beginning of the map. We see Soyorin finding a miss, which could give a bit of combo lead to Estonia, but the accuracy is definitely on side of Malaysia. But we see Stumphole finding another break, which is definitely gonna start shifting the score to Estonia, but not anymore, as Unsent finds the miss as well, together with Sleeping Kukiji, giving Malaysia a bit more room to breathe. Soyorin finding the trade, so it's 1 FC on Mabayu, 1 FC on Evil Gamings, against the combo on Mega Hello and Minbreeze with the 700 combo support, which is much better than Estonia's support. And Mega Hello does find the miss on the support score, so it's only Evil Gaming on the FC against Mabayu and Minbreeze with huge combos. that is definitely gonna start shifting the score towards Malaysia's side rapidly. Stamphole and Soren also recovering some nice combos here and there, sleeping Kuichi and Ansen trying to match that, but I don't believe that's gonna be enough. There's 1/4 of the map left, which potentially could mean some hope for Estonia, but they would need to see Mabayu and Mindries missing, like right now, with a huge chain misses together with Stamphole, if they want to do anything, and I don't believe that's gonna happen as the score is just growing and growing up to 700k, 800k almost, and we are just looking right now if Mabayu and Evil Gaming can find and finish the map with their full combos off, or if they see some unfortunate misses here and there. Ansen, Minbri trading the misses together with Sleeping Kokiji. No one else is missing outside of that. Mega Hello missing a bit before that. Ansen finding a miss just before the spinner, but it's not gonna matter because we see Mabayu and Evil Gaming starting off strong with full combos. Evil Gaming's with 90.5% FC, Mabayu with 96.6% FC, giving the first point to Malaysia pretty comfortably with almost 1 million score difference. So a first pick successfully played for Malaysia, and now we are waiting for Estonia's first pick. After we have seen that HR ban, potentially we could see them going into some hard rock maps, maybe HR1, HR3, or maybe opting for the alti stuff like Normal 3 we have seen last time, maybe Normal 4 as well. They did do pretty well on those two maps in the previous match, but it's their choice. They have a lot of maps still open in this map pool. Normal 5 is open for, which is pretty rare seeing throughout this group stage so far. Nomad 5 does get banned pretty often. It is pretty evil map, I must say, but so far I don't see a reason for Team Estonia or Team Malaysia to pick it right now, even though it did get banned against Estonia. And now we have seen the hidden 2 ban from Estonia though, so it's really a question of what they feel comfortable on, if they feel comfortable on one of those HR1, HR3 maps, but no, they will opt for, as I mentioned, Nomad 3, Don't Believe in T. We have Tato in this map pool, and the song is a banger. The song is a really nice song. It is gonna be a custom map picked. This map by iMosca. Thank you for the amazing map of this song, and this Nomad 3 is a pretty control heavy snap hold type of map. You have to make sure to not drop your accuracy too much, as there are 2 of pretty devilish rhythm patterns, one at the beginning of the map, one somewhere in the middle of the map, so beware for those. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see if the Malaysia players could perform well on this. We have seen Team Estonia put up a performance of about 1.84 million team score, with the Hustle and Evil Gamings being the top 2 for Team Estonia, with Hustle say 680k and Evil Gamings with almost 500,000 points on the map, but Unsent with Kalat doing a pretty good support for them as well. As of now, we see Hustle and Unsent in the lobby for Team Estonia, and I don't think we will see too many changes there, as if it works, don't touch it. I don't see a reason to change the roster there. But for Team Estonia, it's a question of whether they will opt for their Normal 3 roster from qualifiers or not. We have seen Hot Dog, Chiyu, Mabayu and Minbreeze for Normal 3 and qualifiers, and so far we see 3 of those 4 players in: Hot Dog, Minbreeze and Chiyu, and so we are basically just waiting if Mabayu gets in, and we see them in the lobby, so I believe that's gonna be the player for Team Malaysia. The Hustle, Unsent and Evil Gamings in the lobby for Team Estonia together with Galat, so no changes on the Normal 3 rosters that we have seen before. And I believe with that said, I think the teams are settled and we are waiting for the players to ready up to get in the lobby. Well, not get in the lobby, they are already in the lobby, to ready up and put up a performance on this normal 3. Let's see if Estonia can do as good as they did in the previous match, or maybe even outperform themselves, which would definitely help the scoring. You see Malaysia in as well as the map starts with Malaysia's top player on the normal 3 being a hot dog with Chiyu with 530k and 487k, but that was in qualifiers. The scores are pretty consistent throughout the board, so it's a question of whether Malaysia can put up a great team performance and potentially fight Hustle with Evil Gamings, and especially if Hustle can put up a performance they did in the previous matchup. So far, we see a few misses on the board, the Minbreeze and Hustle with some early misses, but it should not matter too much as the minute map is 2 minutes 39 seconds. Hustle does find a miss though, which is definitely not gonna make things easy for Estonia together with Unsent, but her hot dog does find the trade. Kelad and Evil Gamings together fighting with Chiyu and Mabayu with the 2 full combos, and the accuracy is a bit leading to Team Estonia's side, but now as we see Chiyu finding the miss for Team Malaysia, the score should start shifting towards Evil Gaming's and Kalad's side as Estonia is still holding that 2 full combos compared to 1 on Mabayu. Minbreeze has some combo left from the recovery, but Mabayu does find a miss on the full combo as well. That gets traded by Kalad, so there's still a chance for Malaysia to pull this back at it, as it's on the Evil Gaming's holding the huge combo for Team Estonia, especially as Hustle finds the miss together with Kelad, so it's Minbreeze against Evil Gaming and Unsent, with Malaysia getting some decent support scores from the rest of their team. Mabayu, Chiyu and Hotdog trying to recover some scores. Mabayu does find a miss, which is not going to help the Malaysia shift too much, but they are still looking at the bottom left screen of Evil Gaming and waiting for a potential miss there, because that will give them a lot of breakthrough options if they can hold their combos, especially the combo on Minbreeze now set a 600 combo in 98.5% ag, a bit lower than Evil Gaming's, and Evil Gaming's is definitely gonna hold the score on Estonia's side together with Unsent with that 500 combo. Killer does find a miss, but that gets instantly traded by Chiyu. So it's still a question of can Evil Gaming's and his team hold on to their combos, because as of now, if the supports on Malaysia stay, we can see a miss from Unsent and Hustle be an issue for Estonia as well, but they seem just way too comfortable on this map to miss Evil Gaming still onto that full combo, 600,000 points and counting. Minbreeze finding the miss together with Chiyu, so it's only Hotdog and Mabayu for Malaysia. Hustle does find a miss, but Unsent and Evil Gaming with their huge combos definitely pulling the score more to Estonia's side and definitely outperforming what they did in the previous match. 2.2 million team score and counting, with Evil Gaming still holding on to that full combo. And I believe the map is settled already. We will be back to even with 1-1. Evil Gaming, can he finish up with an FC? There's not much left of the map, but this part might be a bit tricky to hit, and 2.5 million team score is the final score for Estonia to grab the first point. Unsent with 700k as well, definitely performing much better than they did in a match against Hong Kong by more than by around 350,000 points. Minbreeze 600k, and overall the score of Malaysia would beat Estonia yesterday, but not today, as Team Estonia grabs their first point, heading into a 1-1 tie, Malaysia's next pick, but the match is nowhere near decided. With that said though, Malaysia is not gonna take much time with this pick, and they will opt for the double pick of Double Time with Double Time 1. And that's the map I said they might look scary on, as they did perform incredibly well on Double Time 1 in qualifiers. Seed 8 with 3.6 million team score, which is basically 3 FCs and a half, which is not fun to beat. Definitely not fun to beat. And we have seen Estonia play DT1. They did not win that one. They did get 2 million team score, and we have seen Hustle kill at Eagle Gaming and Unsent on the map. But from the performance on normal 3, we have seen on Unsent's side, maybe they seem a bit stronger today, and they feel more comfortable, at least from what I can see. So it's gonna be an interesting choice, but again, we have not seen Malaysia on this Double Time 1, and we know that Malaysia is incredibly strong when it comes to DT maps, so beware for that. roster-wise, we should see Mabayu, Agagag, Minbreeze, and Stamphole on DT1 if they will opt for the roster they had in qualifiers, which did work pretty well. And for DT1 on Estonia side, unless some changes happen there, we should see Hustle, Kalat, Evil Gamings, and Unsend, which is gonna be the case. We see Hot Dog in the lobby instead of Stamphole for Malaysia, and we see Mabayu in, we see Agag again, we see Minbreeze in. So outside of Stamphole, everyone of the original qualifiers DT1 core is in for Malaysia. And that should be locked and settled, as we should be starting the map as soon as all players ready up and try to put up another pretty good performance on another double time map. 2 minutes 22 seconds of train time, so again a bit on the shorter side in this map pool with this double time one, but it's a song that a lot of players recognize. It's iconic. We see plus Danshi by Reol, and this map, one of the older maps in this map pool as we start into it, I believe coming from 2015, when most of the map pool is made of maps that are 2023 plus, with the exception of No Mod 1, this double time 1 free mod being 2009 and free mod 3 being 2014. But enough yapping about the map pool, let's start gaming. We see Hustle Evil Gamings finding early misses on this map together with Kalad as well, so not looking the greatest for Estonia from the beginning of the map. We see a miss coming in from Agagag as well, but outside of that, Malaysia is still holding on to 3-way full combo, and Sen finding a funny pattern combo here and there. Hustle with 100 combo in, and so far we are looking at a pretty dominant performance from Malaysia's side with the 2-3 full combos, but Agagas does find the drop. That's traded by Kalat, so the score should stay on Malaysia's side by a little bit, but not too much. If we see a miss coming from one of those 3 FCs on Malaysia's side, things can get interesting. Still 1/3 of the map done, and we see Hansen finding the miss, which is going to be unfortunate for Estonia. Traded by Agagag at a Hot Dog, so one of those 3 FCs is down, but we still see Minbreeze and Mabayu with 300k, 360k score and full combos on their hands. Kelad finding a miss, so it's on Evil Gamings and Hustle trying to save stuff for Estonia here, but as long as Malaysia finds that double FC on Mabayu and Minbreeze, we are not looking so positive for Estonia right now. Still holding onto those combos. The supports from Malaysia are stronger than the supports coming from Estonia, so they definitely need to see at least one of those FC, if not both. Finding a miss. Agagag is missing, but that's not the combo that is important, and unfortunately Evil Gamings might have settled it with finding a break. I'm not sure if that was a miss or a SB there, but it's gonna be unfortunate for Team Estonia. Hustle also putting last nail into the coffin with the miss of their own. Mabayu unfortunately not finding the full combo, but it does not matter because Malaysia is definitely gonna pick up a point on this double time one, and Minbreeze it's gonna finish it up with a full combo 1.1 million, which is not gonna match the team score they had in qualifiers. It's gonna be around 2.8 mil team score compared to around 2.1 mil team score on Estonia's side. So Estonia again performing a bit better than they did in the match yesterday, but Malaysia is completely outclassing them with that FC from Minbreeze, 800k from Mabayu, and 560k from a Hot Dog, 600k from Hustle and Evil Gaming. Is definitely not a bad score here and there. Unsend and Kalad with consistent 500k as well, but again, the big scores from Team Malaysia are gonna bring the point to the side of blue team and give the next pick to Estonia. So it's still not over for anyone. Estonia can respawn with a pick of their own, and we can get back to even to 2 state. But Estonia is maybe looking for something they can break through on. We have seen that no mod 3 did work pretty well for them, even though Malaysia did put up a pretty good performance. Team Estonia did need to improve on the map, but they have a lot to pick from still, and they will opt for another custom, and this time even an original map, and that's gonna be a no mod 4. Glad to see this one. Astral Tether, song by Cryo, Cam and Sugasugi, map collab between Kieri and Netnesania. And we are heading into a bit more technical type of map, a bit less of a mech tech, more of a slider tech map with a lot of uncomfortable long short sliders. There are some mech tech bits, some tapping here and there, but not too much of it. But yeah, the important part is we are picking into the original, and this map does seem to be pretty favored amongst the teams. We see this picked pretty often, which is nice. It's always nice to see originals get picked. And, you know, we love to see originals get played. Thanks again to Kraken Sugasugi for the amazing song, and Kieri and Netnesania for mapping this map as we wait for the players to get in the lobby. And we have seen Estonia play this before, put up a 2 mil team performance score, with Hustle Evil Gaming being on top with 680k and 550k, but Ansem a bit down with 500k, and then Tiger Claw, which we did not see throughout any other map in the lobby, with 280k, so pretty much a filler player. We see Hustle, Unsend, Evil Gaming's in the lobby together with Tomex, so we see a bit of switch even there, with Tomex switching up for Tiger Claw. No other change there, and compared to Malaysia's qualifiers team, we saw Hodog, Mabayu, Minbreeze and Chewy on the no mod 4. The stats are from, and we see Chewy, Moruko, Mabayu, Chewy in the lobby, so definitely a switch up from Malaysia there, with Hot Dog joining them, so Minbreeze potentially getting switched by Chibi, unless we see last second switch up from that side of the board. Yes, so far it looks like the teams are settled yet again. So we see a switch up on Team Estonia side, and actually instead of who was in being Tomex, we see Kellot on the map. So Tiger Claw is still out, replaced by Kellot for this no mod 4, Mabayu, Hot Dog, Chibi, and Chiu for Malaysia. So we see a one-man switch compared to the previous no mod 4 they played on both teams. And let's see how the map goes. 2 minutes and 30 seconds, so a bit of mid-range length map in this map compared to the rest of this map. Well, we have some long maps, we have some short maps, but we are playing this no mod 4 now and looking forward into starting the map. We see some egg drops here and there, but it is to be expected as teams and players need to stabilize, need to get a bit comfortable with the tempo of the map, with the OD of the map, and so on and so on. We see Hot Dog finding the first miss, and actually a chain miss on a few of the first bursty patterns of the map, but that should not do way too much just yet, as the map is just starting and we still have some hard sections coming in. Sliders taking the first blood of Team Estonia as well, and that's gonna be the Hustle together with Gallup trading with Hot Dog, so 3 FCs against 2 FCs now in favor of Malaysia, but Malaysia does get that FC trade with Mabayu finding a break on their side, so it's 2 FCs against 2 FCs, with the support being slightly favored to the side of Estonia, but not by much, and that's gonna make the minimal score difference of 25,000 points as of now. 1/3 into the map, not much else is happening in terms of breaks and misses, but Mabayu finding another miss, dropping a bit of support score for Malaysia, which is gonna give a bit of lead to Estonia, especially with them holding the 2 pretty good supports on Hustle and Killat, and two really good full combos on Unsend and Evil Gamings, even though Unsend is finding a bit of slider and cheesing here and there. We see Chibi finding the miss on the second to last FC of Team Malaysia, so it's only Chiu with the full combo fighting against two FCs on Team Estonia with two pretty good supports coming from the Hustle and Killad. Mabayu finding a miss as well is not gonna be option. It's not gonna be ideal for Team Malaysia. Hotdog, Chibi trying to build up something, Chibi especially after that miss on that full combo together with Mabayu. So far, it is looking pretty good for Estonia. 1/3 of the map left. Evil Gaming suffered a break, which is going to be 1 FC down for Estonia, which might slow down the shifting a bit, but it's not going to kill it, as Unsend with Kavadar still holding on to some pretty nice combo. Unsend with that full combo of 98% with some slider ends missing. Hustle, that's fine, a miss, which is going to slow it down a bit more. Chibi finding miss. Kallad goes down, so it's only Unsend with the full combo now holding Estonia on the bag. Is there enough time for Hotdog and Chiu to shift it back? There's 170k score needing to be shifted back. Mabayu is holding some support as well. 130k, this is gonna be tight. Kallad finding a lot of misses together with Hustle, and Unsend finding the full combo miss. That will start shifting the score towards Malaysia, as Chiu and Mabayu are holding their scores. Hotdog finding a miss, but it does not matter because Chiu with the full combo shifting the score last second towards the side of Malaysia, getting them the first breakpoint. Unfortunate breakpoint for Estonia. They were close to getting that second point on the board, making it tight, but now Malaysia with their next pick potentially looking into a into a match point position, which they definitely do. Like, even though it's gonna be on Estonia pick if they win this one, they have a lot to pick from and they seem to be comfortable. Estonia again outperforming themselves compared to what they did yesterday, but it's not going to be enough this time. 2.38 million compared to 2 million yesterday, but it's not going to stop Malaysia's 2.45 mil on this map, getting them the third point, and now they have the option to choose again. The question is, what is it gonna be? We have seen hidden 2-band from Estonia, so potentially something gimmicky like no mod 5, 3 mod 2. 3 mod 2 might hit them with the low with the high CS, which they banned on HR2. So it's a tricky choice. Hidden 3, La Novella, by a lot of people on the artist side of this map. It's gonna be Kurokote as Little Ellie and Sphirel on this song La Novella. Echoes difficulty by Akilika. Insane banger picked on this no hidden 3 slot. Another somewhat of flowy alternating control map we are heading into. This time it's gonna be a pretty fast-paced one with its 165 BPM, which is slowly but surely touching the stream range of BPM. Not just yet, or at least not for these players, but it's slowly but surely getting there. So more of a almost a flowy map, but it requires a lot of control to play nicely. We did not see Estonia play this map before, as it was not picked nor banned in their previous match. But comparing the qualifiers scores and overall no mod 3 ability, alt ability of these two teams, it should on paper go to Estonia, but we have seen what happened on the no mod 4, so you never know until the map is over. We see Hotdog, Minbreeze and Chibi Maruku in for Malaysia, even though Minbreeze gets out of the lobby, potentially getting replaced by someone. See Hustle Unsend for Team Estonia. Mabayu sitting in the lobby for Malaysia. I believe that's gonna be the 4th player, together with Hotdog, Minbreeze and Chibi. Tomex in for the lobby of Estonia, and I believe here he is, Evil Gamings, joining as the P4 for Estonia's side. And with that said, that looks set and settled for this Hidden 3 map. So let's wait for players to ready up. Let's see what the map gives us, and let's see if Malaysia can pull off another point on their own pick, or if Estonia can take a breakpoint back and potentially look for tying this match yet again. A bit of an intro to calm down nerves or build up more nerves up to the players as we wait for the map to start. And it's not the slowest start of a map. It's only 2 minutes 8 seconds in train time, so again a bit on the shorter side compared to some maps of the map pool. And I believe it is the second shortest if I'm not mistaken, so definitely a bit on the shorter side of maps. But so far, starting off, we see some inconsistencies on Estonia's side. Never mind, that was just Banjo and Ancent. So 4 full combos on both sides, no one dropping just yet, but just as I say that, Mabayo does find a first slider break on not much that was happening in the map just there. They are also pretty confused about the break. It seems like 99.14% accuracy though. The accuracy is gonna make the difference for a little bit, as Malaysia was holding that lead even with that bio break. But Evil Gaming, Swiftomex and Hustle finding a 3-way miss for Estonia, definitely giving back the lead to Malaysia with Ancent the only FC on the board, fighting against 3 on Malaysia's side. And Malaysia slowly but surely building a break wall, break by break with those combos, making their lead bigger and bigger halfway into the map, not giving any space to Team Estonia. And Sen Hustle, Tomex all finding misses, so there's no huge combo on Estonia's side. Mindri is finding a slow slider break, which is absolutely unfortunate for them, but it does not matter too much as Hot Dog Mabayo are still holding on to some great scores, with Evil Gaming finding a miss on the last Estonia's big score. He just gives the cement to Malaysia to solidify the wall and, let's just say, make the lead even bigger and bigger. 500,000 points and growing for Team Malaysia, with a Hot Dog still holding onto that full combo of 790 combo with Mabayo with the 600 recovery as well on the 99.4% with that. And one unfortunate SB or Hot Dog finding a miss, but it should not matter too much as Mindri's Chibi are still holding onto some combos. Ancent Evil Gaming's trying to fight back with some combos, but it's definitely not going to be enough to shift that 1.2 million. Mindri's finding a miss as well. Mabayo still holding onto the 800 combo, and that's where it ends. They were so close to a really, really nice FC, but unfortunately that one slider absolutely catching them off guard. I don't think the score difference is that huge. We just don't see the player in the left top screen score. So I might need to look at the MP link for this one to see the actual difference. But it's gonna be a point to Malaysia. They win by 967,000 points as the Hustle gets 481,000 points on this map. So not the full 1 mil, but it's a point for Malaysia. And now tough position for Team Estonia, as they have the next pick in their hands. They only need a pick, breakpoint, and a pick of their own, which only might be a pretty weak word for that, as that's gonna be pretty tough against Malaysia. But they will try with some of their own medicine, something that Malaysia banned into. That's gonna be HR Pool with Hard Rock T3, We Love Music, getting picked. This map is gonna be a bit of a mix between, again, somewhat of a control, somewhat of an alternating, maybe a bit of technicality, but it's mostly old. 139 BPM, 2 minutes and 56 seconds, almost 3 minutes, so let's just say mid-range of the pool drain time mapped by Bakery. And it's gonna be an interesting one. It's a banger song. It is a funky song. We love the song. It is picked by Estonia. It is HR, which on paper should be somewhat in their favor. Not too much. We have seen what they did on HR2 yesterday, so it's always nice to see your team perform well on something you're gonna dig into. With Estonia already having their roster in for this HR with Hustle, and Tomex and Evil Gamings, we are just waiting for Team Malaysia to pull off their 4-man team, or 4-player team to be exact. Last time we have seen Estonia playing HR, which was the HR2 you've seen, Evil Gaming's Tomex, Hustle, and so no change there on the HR roster. They did pull off a 2-mil team score, but this is HR3. The map is much different compared to what we see in HR2. It will be interesting to see how that goes. With Chiu, Hotdog, Chibi and Minbreeze tuning in for Team Malaysia, we should be starting this HR3 pretty shortly, and stay sharp, stay with your eyes open, because this map is gonna hit you for around 3 minutes, as I said. Not the shortest one, definitely not, as an HR map might get a bit uncomfortable with that OD8, AR8, but I believe all of these players are capable of reading that, are capable of hitting that, and Sen finding the first miss of the map, traded by Chibi and Chiu, so Malaysia now with a 1-player, 1 FC deficit early into the map. But again, the map is 3 minutes long. This will not make too big of difference so far. But Evil Gaming's Hustle, Tomex all with some nice accuracies compared to what we see on Team Malaysia with Hotdog, Minbreeze, both getting matched by their opponent on the other screen. But Estonia now finding a bit of active ops from Tomex and Hustle, not matching Minbreeze anymore with the 98.75, and Ansen finding a miss on non-FC score, which is not gonna hurt that much, but Tomex miss will, as there goes 1 FC for Team Estonia as well. It's 2 FCs against 2 FCs, but the support is definitely coming in for Team Malaysia with Chiyu and Chibi Maruko matching and even outperforming the support coming from Unsent and Tomex, which Tomex was the one huge score holding, and never mind, Tomex miss was just a banjo again. So we see 3 FCs not anymore, as we see Evil Gaming's finding a miss, and Tomex right after, and Hustle right after. So 3-way, 4-way break for Team Estonia, which is tragic for them, but Malaysia is replying with a 3-way break of their own, with Chibi holding the only score on the board with 190 combo, 200 combo, and the score is nowhere near decided. Yes, it's gonna shift back and forth with Estonia's accuracy pulling it back to their side by about 10k, but now every miss, every actor, everything will matter quite a bit. Chibi finding the miss on the big combo, but so does Evil Gaming's and Unsent. So it's 3 200 combos against 2 200 combos for Team Estonia, which is definitely gonna favor Malaysia by the slightest, but the accuracies are still pulling it back to Team Estonia side by every 100 Team Malaysia finds, and Hotdog finding a miss is gonna be a bit of an unfortunate one, especially on the slow part, but Hustle finds the trade on the square pattern, so it's Unsent Evil Gamings against Chiyu, Minbreeze and Chibi, who are holding the bigger scores for Team Malaysia, shifting the score more and more towards their side. There's about 1/4 of the map left, not even that, and Hustle finding another miss is definitely not gonna help Team Estonia together with Evil Gaming's Tomex. It's only Unsent with the combo for Team Estonia against Minbreeze and Chibi. So as long as Minbreeze or Chibi, one of those, can hold the score on their side, it's gonna go to Malaysia and it's gonna settle the match. But Chibi, that's fine the miss. Minbreeze still holding onto that 500 combo, being the last hope for Team Malaysia. We see Banjo bugging a little bit, but Minbreeze is still in the lobby, still playing. Players are leaving the lobby, which is gonna kill the clients. Which unfortunately I believe is gonna mean that Team Malaysia did get the last point of this match and will get a 5-1 win. 1 point for Estonia is still not bad at all. They are getting that point into their point difference which could help them in the long run in the group stage. They still have one more match to play, so they can still get a win on that one. It's gonna be against C2 of their group, and that's gonna be Singapore. And as of now, it's gonna be it for this Estonia-Malaysia match. GG's to Malaysia, pulling off an HR3 win by about 116,000 points, with Midrees getting 595,000 points A rank. At the end, Unsent for 64k, the best player for Estonia. But with that said, Malaysia definitely showing why they are the highest seed of their group and why they are gonna potentially look into first place of their group to qualify them into the bracket stage. But with that said, it was a nice match to watch. Estonia definitely put up a great performance, trying to fight back against strong Malaysia, outperforming themselves on quite a bit of maps we have seen. But it's not gonna be enough against Malaysia, with Mabayo, Agarak, Hot Dog, Chibi, Chiyu, Minbreeze, Soyerin, and Stumphole getting their first win on the board, on the table in the group stage, and getting 5 -4, so 4 points differential in favor of them on the board. With that said, my name was Marvels. Thank you for tuning in to 4WC, as we should be tuning in with another match in about 45 minutes, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, that's gonna be it from me. Have a nice rest of the day and see you sometime again.